Crossing the U.S.-Canada border would be oblivious to most folks if it weren't for the change in national flags and border checkpoints. There is, of course, some of the most famous landmarks in Niagara, including the American Falls and Canadian Horseshoe Falls. But out in the countryside, similarities abound.
They have a little bit different agriculture than we do, but when we drive through the countryside, it looks just almost like ours. It's flat. Some of the most beautiful, productive land I've seen, I think. It was kind of eye-opening for us when we got up here.
These are gala here.
In the eastern provinces of Ontario and Quebec, farms here are on a much smaller scale than the ones you would find in Texas. Plus, there is more of a focus on one commodity than a diversified operation. Orchards, vineyards, dairies, and even maple syrup are just a glimpse of the agriculture products that are harvested up here. To do so requires some extra help. The government brings in workers from other countries. Farmers provide a suitable wage and a place to stay.
These foreign individuals are used on whatever business that particular farm does. And at the end of their use of their visa, the producer pays for their airfare back to whatever country they came from.
The two countries share some of the same issues and concerns with regulations, risk management, profitability, and productivity. Sharing ideas and strategies with our northern neighbor is viewed as a benefit for the entire agriculture industry.
When you live in a community, the more you interact with your neighbors, and the better neighbors they make. And I think that's the case here. Is the more that we interact, the better neighbors we all are.
Normally, the red go in here.
Some commodities in Canada are controlled through a supply management program which guarantees farmers some level of income. It's a program that works for Canada, but it's unsure if it would pan out in the U.S. However, it's one reason the average age of the Canadian farmer is younger than in the U.S., as farmers grist less capital to produce a crop.
The population of Canada really appreciates their farmers and really supports their farmers and realizes it is a supply management. In some areas, their food costs are a little higher than normal, or it could be under another system. But because it guarantees them a safe agriculture, they support it and really have a high regard for their agricultural producers.
For TFB News, Matt Felder, Canada.